Come on, lad. We got up here in the shade. I know it's warm. Come on. We've just got to get to the top here, which is, I don't know, a couple of 100 feet at best. Come on. We've been in the house now for a few hours. Need to keep them moving about, folks. When I was a kid, I was a confused kid, me. Trying to figure out my fucking position in society, folks. Like we all do, because none of us truly understand why we're here. We all know that we've got a purpose. And we all know that there's more to life than we're being told and that we're being shown, we're being educated. We're being shown, sorry. But the harder we look, sometimes it's difficult to find the right path. So we have to try and pick and choose whether to win or lose, folks. And through education, you know, confusion reigns supreme for me. But I was fortunate enough to have been in an accident where two cars hit me when I was about 5-year-old, and it stunted my learning abilities all through school, folks, to the point where I left school barely able to write my name. And only once my first daughter was due to be born did I realise that I had to start learning to read and write, because she would be able to do something I couldn't. So basically, through the help of a local library back up north, as an adult, as a 20-odd-year-old, I was taught to teach myself to read and write, using all these little books like Dick and Dora. Dick pushes Jane on the swings, things like that. Jane went whoosh, you know, and it was embarrassing, but I wasn't the only one in this Tuesday evening session, folks. There was a few of us trying to learn to read and write. Come on, we've got to keep moving. Then once I started to learn to read and write and learn bigger words, and then to pick up a dictionary years later, and then to learn about words themselves, folks, then I started realising I would like to write books, which I ended up doing, and publishing books, not just writing them. I don't write everything, obviously. But during this time, I'd spent, up to me packing it in, I'd spent 16 years learning various martial arts. And what made me want to learn to read and write, apart from the fact that I had a newborn coming, was I'd found on a rubbish dump when I was tipping rubbish, I found a magazine with this guy that was kicking and thumping, and someone told me, oh yeah, it's called Bruce Lee. And I had that magazine for quite a few years, a Kung Fu magazine, and I was unable to read the majority of the text and understand what was going on, certainly the philosophies that were talked about and all that lot. So I joined a martial arts club, and then flitted from one martial arts system to another, from the Kung Fu to the karate to the kickboxing, and so on, folks. And the Choshinkai with a master, Steve Powell, in Manchester, through the 80s. We used to put on shows and things with another martial arts club that I'd helped to organise. And some people say that martial arts isn't a godly thing and that we shouldn't be practicing this stuff, folks. But you know what martial arts taught me? It taught me that I had to get rid of my aggression, and there was a way of getting rid of that aggression through exercise, through the training methods, through both physical and mental training methods, through the deep breathing methods, which helped me to recover brain capacity through the breathing methods, folks. The Chinese martial artist taught me these deep breathing methods using the solar plexus to get oxygen to the brain and recover the fucking brain from this injury I'd sustained when I was a lot younger. And, you know, when you think about it, martial arts has taught me to be me. Yeah. Martial arts has taught me to respect other people. Martial arts took my aggression and energies and turned them into useful stuff, folks. And a lot of people don't like. I think there's a tractor coming. They don't like people learning boxing and learning certain martial arts. And they think that it goes against the Christian standards and all that lot, folks. But it taught me more than education did, folks. And the people that slate us for learning martial arts have all been educated one way or the other. And martial arts, though, taught me to educate myself. Yeah, taught me to be who I wanted to be, taught me about myself, show me who I was. And then I could then pass that knowledge on to other people. And basically, you know, Bruce Lee wasn't evil. You know, he had exacting standards, folks. And he was true to himself and true to his beliefs. You know, he didn't suffer fools because he wasn't a fool. Right, hang on, there's a tractor coming, lad. So, I've just got to pause a sec. Martial arts did me the biggest favour ever, folks. And here comes the tractor. Come here, Ella. No, come on, come back under the fence. Come on. And here it comes now, folks. And it definitely made me a better person than I was expected to become. And I'm me. I'm just me. What you see is what you get. And if I'm angry all the time, folks, there's a reason why. There's the depopulation, New World Order, you know, systems coming into play, folks. And I have to get angry about it. And people say, oh, you've got to embrace the change. I fucking haven't got to embrace fuck all. I don't like the change. I don't want the change. To the youth of today, folks, they're looking forward to all this change. They're looking forward to all this transhumanism stuff. They're looking forward to being connected digitally, permanently. Some looking forward to being culled. Some people actively taking part in cullings through these suicide sites on the internet, folks. Right, come on, we'll go up this way now and avoid. And people, you know, it's not the first time people have said it that Bruce Lee wasn't a godly person. Bruce Lee was a far, far better person than most people on this earth, folks. He'd have made a great politician. Although I don't agree with politics at all. I have no horse in that race and I've never voted, folks. He would have made a great leader. He was a fantastic teacher. Yep. And it's as simple as that, folks. And I've always tried to live by them standards and make them my standards, folks. It's not a bad thing. And people don't understand self-defense. Yeah, self-defense isn't just going up to someone and smacking them in the face or kicking them in the bollocks, folks. Or defending yourself against an attack or rape. You know, when you know the philosophies of martial arts and the self-defense systems, they teach you self-defense. It's beyond just the body, folks. It's to do with the mind, to do with education, and to defend yourself against the things that are happening now, folks. The propaganda. Defend yourself against the media. Protect yourself from all the bullshit. You know, that martial arts isn't just a foot and a fist, folks. It's not, or an headbutt, or a fucking death stab. It's not. It's a mindset. It's a total 100% mindset when you get into it, folks. Yeah, a lot of kids came to martial arts clubs wanting to learn how to beat a bully up at school. Within 3 months of joining the clubs, if they stayed the distance, yeah, they suddenly realised that they had the power, yeah, to go beyond just wanting to be, you know, someone that could kick the shit out of someone. Yeah, and those that stayed became better people, and they learned how to avoid confrontations. And if they got in a confrontation, we were taught, and then we would teach them the art of fighting without fighting, folks. Yeah, the art of compromise. Look at this here. This bit here, folks. I do not compromise any of this fucking stuff. I cannot stand the fucking stuff. It stands out from the fucking cloud. I'm proud. And yet people refuse to fucking recognise it for what it is. And then there's quite a number of people now that recognise it, yeah, and understand what we're saying, and then just don't give a shit. They're not interested. They're living for now, living for today, because they could be dead tomorrow, spending whilst they've got it, because you can't take it with you. You know, you think about the fucking Egyptians. They had a good go at taking it with them, didn't they? Yeah, just think about all these daft fucking sayings that you taught, folks. Spend it while you've got it, you can't take it with you. And then look at what we unearth in all these catacombs and fucking pyramids. And below the pyramids. Tons and tons and tons and tons of gold and wealth and all that fucking stuff. They took the knowledge with them. They took the wealth with them. Yeah. And not just monetary or wealth in fucking heavy precious metals, yeah? The people today still do it. You've got these chefs and people with certain knowledge, which is wealth in itself, yeah? And they always say, I'm taking my secrets to the grave. How did you make that bread? What's so special about this, that and the other thing? Well, I'm taking them secrets to the grave. I'm not divulging them to no fucker. So that's wealth of knowledge, which is more important than any fucking coin, folks. More than any, certainly fiat fucking paper. You wouldn't wipe your ass on if you understood about fiat currency, folks. And all these things we need to protect ourselves against. And if you're not taught to protect yourself against the elements and against the fucking system, the shitstem, then you're defenceless, folks. You don't know fuck all. Truly. And those of you that are watching what I'm doing and then berating and thinking, oh, here he goes, effing and jeffing again, you know, that's my defence mechanism, folks. I'm not going to be polite about anything until I'm happy about everything. And there's a depopulation event taking place now through the wireless body area networks, the body-to-body area networks, and the NextRads and the HARP systems, and the radar and LiDAR systems, and all the other systems that we know fuck all about, folks, that are beamforming, target acquiring, and ready and in position to terminate us when we are about to rise en masse, folks. That's what they're waiting for. That's all these motherfuckers are waiting for, yeah? They're waiting for us to rise. And we all keep saying, oh, we need to rise, do this, do that, the other thing. And as soon as we do, folks, they've had all these years, 100 years, to plan all this, to get all this digital shit up and running, tested through the military, because it's a weapons system, first and foremost, for the battlefield. And once they've got it all tested to perfection, like they tested in Wuhan, when they told us people were getting a virus instantly and then dropping dead instantly as it hit them, and that doesn't happen. It's never happened fucking since. And it didn't happen outside of fucking China. Think about that. How come it didn't come over here and towns and fucking cities of people drop fucking dead? It's stupid. It's nonsense, folks. But all they got to do is throw these fucking switches all at once, folks. There's radiation in air constantly now, folks. When we're all having these cold sweats, yeah, and wondering what the fuck's going on. Even in winter, you lie in bed there and it's fucking cold and yet you're sweating. Yeah, or you're sat in the house next to your fucking router and these things are beamforming and fucking pulsing these fucking frequencies all over the place. The microwave frequencies. Yep, have a think about it, folks. The ultraviolet fucking frequencies. The LED frequencies. Everything's connecting to everything else. All the fucking smart technology. Yep. Martial arts has taught me. Yeah. To recognise the enemy, folks. And to take evasive action. And I'm trying my fucking best. Not just for me. Not just for you. But for the people of the future. For those not yet born. And with that shot, I'll shut the fuck up. I kid ye not.